Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Martin with The Contoured Chemist. It's a favorites day. It's a skincare day. We're gonna focus on some of my holy grails from the past year. I'd say 2023 holy grails. Some of them have been a long time holy grails, but some of them are just my favorites I've discovered in the past year. And we're gonna do every category in skincare. This was really hard for me to narrow down. I left out a lot of favorites, but I'm gonna try to keep just my very top picks for each category in skincare, both day and night. So if you wanna check it out, please keep watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and thanks for being here. Okay, friends, I'm coming at you completely barefaced so that we can talk skincare. 2023 was a good year for me. I feel like I tested a lot of skincare, and I definitely found a lot of new favorites this past year. Now, granted, the skincare industry right now is like booming. I feel like there is a brand new, amazing product launched all the time. Brand new lines, all of the things, right? So it's really hard to kind of know like what to try, what to spend your money on, what to save your money on. If you are like me and skincare obsessed to where you want to try it all, yet you don't want to wreck your barrier, right? So I'm gonna go over kind of my very favorites, my top picks, and why they're my top picks from every category. Some of these have been my holy grails for quite some time, and some of them are new holy grails. Some of them, I'm not sure if they're holy grails yet, but they could be. I feel like that's something that I have to test for a very long period of time, and some of them I kind of discovered towards the end of the year because they were brand new at the time. So far, so good, right? Okay, we're just gonna start with, I'd say, order of application. Cleanser all the way up to every step up to moisturizer. And then I'm going to just kind of show you guys my favorites if they have separate ones for day and night, because some products I do only use in the morning and some I only use at night. And so we're just gonna separate that out so it's not confusing. First things first, AM cleanser. If you don't know, I am one of those people that highly recommend, if you don't need to cleanse your skin in the morning, you don't have to, especially right now in winter. Just use water. I rarely cleanse my face in the morning because I have normal skin. Now, if you have oily skin, grab a nice, gentle cleanser. This is literally been a game changer for me. I use this if I need to cleanse in the morning, if my skin feels dry, flaky, to where I maybe need a little bit of an exfoliation first thing in the morning, I will pick this up. And it's also my favorite second cleanse at night. You guys have seen me talk about this all the time. It's constantly going out of stock. I promise it's worth the wait. This is the Prequel, which is a brand new line this past year. This is their Glenser, okay? The reason why it's so unique is because it is extremely high in glycerin, hence the name Glenser. It is unlike a lot of formulations. Glycerin is my favorite humectant. Not only does it draw water in, so if you don't know, humectant will absorb water and kind of bring it into the skin and like hold on to it like a sponge. You've probably heard of hyaluronic acid for years and years and years. I prefer glycerin because it has other benefits other than being a good humectant, like rebuilding collagen. That is something I'm always looking for as I age in this stage of my life, now that I'm past 40. Collagen keeps us looking younger. Hyaluronic acid and things like glycerin will hold on to water and kind of plump up the skin and give us less of a look of fine lines, that kind of thing. So any kind of humectant is a great thing. This is loaded 50% glycerin. I'm gonna make a mess here. This is glycerin. When you see the texture like that, It's a great indication of glycerin. I'll show you one of my other favorite products loaded with glycerin. I love that companies are now really packing in glycerin in products because for me, I have rosacea. Like I said, I'm always trying to kind of plump up the skin, keep it looking hydrated. That is what gives you that youthful appearance. My skin barrier health is very important to keep my rosacea under control. This can literally reduce your redness in a matter of a week if you also suffer from rosacea. It's a game changer. So I'm obsessed with the cleanser from Prequel. I will continue to use this as my second cleanse. Anytime my skin barrier feels a little bit off, I just need hydration. I just need a gentle cleanse, especially when it's dry and when it's wintertime. Now, this one is technically, I feel like both of these are really good products that you could use both as a first and second cleanse. I tend to grab this one at night, not really in the morning if I need to cleanse. I tend to grab that one. But I love the texture of this cleanser. This is the Cocoa kind oil to milk cleanser. So if you don't know, for years I've been using the Seint cleanser, which is a milk-based cleanser. I still love that. I still use that all the time as well as a second cleanse. This one is really cool because as you know, at night, if you're wearing sunscreen or makeup, you need to break down that makeup and sunscreen before you cleanse your skin. So your first cleanse should be to break up all of that makeup and sunscreen, which can be hard to remove. And then you wash your skin the second time, right? This one has that balmy, oily texture like a first cleanser does, which will break up, and it's very much like a balm. But when you add water to it, it turns into this milky texture like a milk cleanser and is super hydrating and gentle. So like, I feel like it's the best of both worlds for both a balm and a milk cleanser. And I love a milk cleanser for both mature skin and dehydrated skin, dry skin. I feel like that is typically very gentle, non-stripping. Honestly, any skin type can use it. And so some days I'm just lazy. I don't want to grab more than one bottle. Like if you don't want to have two separate products, I really like this for both. I will use it for the first time and it really breaks up my makeup and I feel like it gets off all my sunscreen, and then I'll cleanse my face again. And I can use this twice in a row and it's not going to strip my skin, which is a huge thing for me. I never want to feel like my skin is squeaky clean. I know that is a no-go. It's just going to dry me out and wreak havoc on my barrier. I call this a hydrating prebiotic cleanser. I love the texture. It's so great. If you can't tell, I'm a big fan of textures. Anything that's going to hydrate your skin is a great thing in my eyes. But if I had to say, I think the cleanser is going to be a holy grail. I'm still, obviously, it hasn't been out for, I don't even think 6 months, but it is becoming a holy grail. It is completely like keeping my rosacea at bay, which you don't know. Rosacea is one of those things there's no cure for. They really don't know what causes it. They know what triggers, but they don't know why certain people have it and certain people don't. And once you hit a certain age, it's like over 50% of women get it. A lot of people don't even know they have it until your dermatologist says, oh, you have some rosacea. That is how I got diagnosed. I honestly just thought I had very reactive skin. No, once I become a certain age, I developed it. So keeping it under control though can be so easy if you really concentrate on your barrier. All right, so those were my cleansers. Let's move on to, after you cleanse your skin, an exfoliator, okay? This one has been an OG, holy grail for so long. I think my Amazon history is like, I've bought like 15 bottles of this. I think I've been using it for 7 years now. It's a very unique product, and I feel like type of product just does not get the hype it deserves in the skincare community. So this is a peeling gel, This is the one I use. There's other brands on the market, but it's Natural Aqua Gel Cure. It's a gentle exfoliator, okay? It's unique in how you use it, but again, somebody that has rosacea, reactive skin, my skin hates, literally hates any kind of physical exfoliation that is grainy. I don't care how gentle they claim the grains to be. It will make me turn bright red. It damages my barrier. It doesn't matter what the beads are made out of. Doesn't matter. My skin does not like that rough physical exfoliation, microdermabrasion, anything like that. But this can literally give me glowing skin right after I use it, because it's gonna get off all of that dead skin so gently and easily. So I've showed before like how I use this in the shower. I'll show you kind of like what it does. But dry skin, the number of times people are like, oh, I've tried that, it didn't work. Your fingers were probably wet. Your face was probably damp. You probably had some kind of water somewhere, which will deactivate this. And be generous with it. I literally use a pump for every part of my face. I spread it over that area, give it a minute or two to start working. As I put it on other areas of my face, then I start back where I applied it first. And I literally gently use my fingers and rub it until no more dead skin is balling up. And that's why I usually do in the shower. It's very messy. And then I rinse it off. And I do this every 3 days like clockwork. Like, it is the only reason why I never have issues with my makeup going on patchy, because I am constantly exfoliating, which is a huge thing with our cream makeup, right? But I've also seen the research. I've seen people testing if this really works, and literal scientists have shown that inside those little balls, now that's not 100% dead skin. It is the polymers that will like kind of trap the dead skin as they ball up, but there's skin cell proteins within those. It is definitely working. And it definitely works as long as your skin is dry. I notice if I just wash my hands and then suddenly I give it even 5 minutes and then I get in the shower and try to do it, I don't get near as much dead skin off. You want to be as dry as a bone, okay? As dry as possible, the more skin you'll get off. I also really prefer using this the day after I've used a chemical exfoliant, which I'll show you next. But chemical exfoliators are very different. Those are your acids, your AHAs, your gentle alpha hydroxy acids, all the way up to BHAs, your beta hydroxy acids. Those are the ones that will actually, the bonds in between your skin cells are like glue. Those acids will kind of break those bonds and release that like glue so that your dead skin can naturally flake away, all right? Now, that doesn't mean you're not gonna get an immediate glow after using an acid, but I find if you help that skin after you've broke those bonds, so you use that the night before, the next day, I go in the morning and I shower and I use this, and it just, all of that dead skin that was still left on my face gets taken away. I never have as good a skin as I do the day I do that 1-2 combo and use this the next day. And then I'm like, whoa, look at my skin. It's like not dull, it's not flaky, it's just glowing, which is my goal. So Cure, I don't foresee myself having this not be a holy grail anytime soon. Just make sure you're using it properly. And I'm a little caveat, there are fakes on Amazon for this, so I will link the one I order from every single time. I never order anything cheaper, none of that, because there are a lot of fake products on Amazon. And this one is legit. I know it works. So I will be honest, I use a lot of different chemical exfoliants. Like I just said, those AHAs are really amazing for keeping that glow in your skin, kind of reducing hyperpigmentation. They also increase collagen production. There's so many benefits. I do recommend using those at least once a week. BHAs, on the other hand, are great for the more acne-prone skin. That is salicylic acid. So if you think of AHAs are really breaking those bonds in between your skin cells, letting your skin cell turnover increase, because that is one thing as you get older, your skin cell turnover goes down and slows down. So instead of like once every 20 days, like when we're in our 20s, it's like 45 days when we're in our 40s. So it is just easy way to increase the rate at which you're losing that dead skin, which again, makes your skin look younger. So salicylic acid, on the other hand, is that beta hydroxy acid. That is the one that's oil soluble. The other ones are not. So the other ones work on the top layer of the skin. Oil soluble means they can penetrate your pores and get out all that gunk and kind of dissolve that oil and clean out any areas where you have pores. Now this is super important for those that have acne prone skin, because that's what's gonna clean out your pores. Literally nothing else will. Salicylic acid is, in my opinion, a necessity somewhere in your regimen. I don't have the most acne prone skin. I feel like I break out with hormones every time of the month, but then other than that, I usually don't have a problem in that, but I'm always incorporating that ingredient somewhere in my weekly routine as kind of a preventative thing as well. My favorite ingredient for my skin is actually TCA, which is trichloroacetic acid. It is unique because it's not an AHA and it's not a BHA. It's actually considered a monocarboxylic acid, which means it's a caustic acid. You will see the TCA in terms of peels, like professional strength peels that you can get from an esthetician or dermatologist office. They can be very superficial, they can be very deep. There's only like one peel, a phenol peel that's like stronger than a TCA, but it depends on the percentage of that acid in the formulation. Obviously, anything over like 20% needs to be done by a professional. Please don't buy anything from Amazon that is like DIY. You could really damage your face. Please don't. But there are some on the market that are formulated. It's all in the formulation. This is not pure TCA. This is actually multi-acids in this formulation, which makes it gentler. There's even glycerin, one of my favorite ingredients, glycerin in this to hydrate the skin as well. But this is the Stacked Skincare TCA multi-acid face peel. This actually has 3 other AHAs, like glycolic and lactic, and another one, and then also salicylic acid, which is that BHA. So I love using this once, maybe twice a week. It's very easy to use. You just cleanse your skin and use a few drops and just kind of use it almost like a serum, and then you let it dry, and then you can continue with your serums and moisturizer. You don't rinse it off and you just wear it overnight. I did this last night so that way I could get off all my dead skin. I had a couple of breakouts. Now this TCA is typically comedonal breakouts, which are kind of like when they form a comedone, that means it's like, it like comes to a little whitehead, that kind of thing. That tends to be what I get, like just tiny little comedones on my face. Salicylic acid is best for, because it's an anti-inflammatory, it's best for those inflammatory breakouts, those really deep ones, and they tend to like get swollen. But overall, they claim that both of them like give similar results. They just are, some are better for others, but this one has both. And so I always, if I'm breaking out, I always reach for this product and I will just use it. And I feel like the next day, my breakouts have decreased tremendously. I can tell a huge difference in the glow of my skin. And I think it's just that combination of all of these acids, like it gives the best of both worlds. It's like a really great relation. If you're new to an acid and you just want to try it, it's not a super strong peeling solution. It is, in my opinion, much gentler than the one I've shared before, which is the Ordinary's AHA peeling solution. It's a 30% AHA. That one's a lot stronger. So if you're like scared of acids, you kind of want to dip your toe in, this one's really good. Just kind of use a drop and press it on all over. I tend to use a couple drops for each area of my face. I've never had any irritation, and this is coming from like someone with very reactive skin. Now I am used to acids. I've been using them for years and years and years. So if you're brand new to it, definitely don't go to like 3 days a week trying something like this, and definitely start with 1 drop per area of your face and you should be golden. But this is one of the few products I've ever been able to find really on the market that's got that TCA that can give me that instant results. Like, this is becoming a holy grail product for me because I feel like I need it, and it doesn't take much at all. It's gonna last me a very long time. It's awesome. So if you are a skincare cycler like I am, say you only exfoliate once a week, say you just do it at night, this is something you can easily do just once a week, and you're gonna see the result the next day. I love products that I can use and see the immediate effect. Not much in skincare is like that, but I feel like acids are one of those things that can show you those results. Okay, since I'm already talking way too much about each product, the next category I would say would be a spray, toner, or essence. I'm just gonna put them all in one. I could definitely talk about each one if that is something you guys are interested in, but I would say if I had to pick one right now, an essence has become one of my holy grails. I don't know if I can even pick a favorite out of these two. Every single day, usually morning and night, I will use one of these two. I truly attest to this being one of the reasons why I have not had any dry skin this winter. They're both so good. So if you checked out my K-Beauty video, one of them was this Dr. Circle Vegan Kombucha Tea Essence. So this is the biphase one, and you shake it and it gives you this milky texture. Very similar in my opinion to the Rhode Glazing Milk. Both of these are just a nice milky essence, and they hydrate so good. If you have dry, dehydrated skin at all, apply these to damp skin after cleansing and then go in with your serums. You will notice a difference if you are consistent. These give such great hydration. I can't live without them now. Let's go into serums. Now, big difference between serums I use at day and night. Let's pick one that you can use anytime. I've talked about this so many times, it's not even funny. Again, one of my favorite ingredients ever. There's a lot of these other products that have this ingredient in it, and I think that's why they tend to be my favorite products. And if you missed my ingredient video, I talked it a lot more depth, but it is Centella asiatica. Namely, this ampule is my holy grail. This is by Skin 1004. This is their pure Centella ampule. It is literally like liquid gold to me. Anytime my skin barrier is flaky, red, irritated, this is one of the only things that I can put on my skin. It doesn't give me any irritation, and I noticed it healed in hours. I can tell a difference. I use this day and night when needed. I love that this ingredient also increases collagen. Like I said, I put it everywhere. I can put this up under my eyes. It's not gonna make me more prone to milia. It's very lightweight, fast absorbing. I can put this as my first serum or my last serum, and it's just all encompassing. I feel like if you ever are afraid you might damage your barrier in any way, I feel like this is it's like a safety product. Like, you have this in your arsenal in case you damage your barrier, and you know it's going to repair literally overnight. If you don't know, it's derived from a plant also known as, you see it in a lot of stuff also as cica. It is in so many products because it has such great healing properties. So think about it. Even if you get a blemish, it's also anti-inflammatory. Like, my daughter last night was like, what do I do about this? She had a blemish. She goes, which serum should I use? First thing I grabbed was this because it's going to take down that inflammation. So it's a multi-use product in my opinion, but it's one of those things. Gold standard arsenal product. Anytime you have any kind of irritation or damaged barrier, I reach for this first. Let's go with morning next. Now, I feel like I'm honestly asked in DMs almost every single day for a recommendation for vitamin C. I feel like I could talk probably a long time just on this subject alone. So I had to pick my top two. I always ask a lot of questions when someone wants a recommendation because there is not one product that works for everyone. I strongly feel that way. Everyone's skin is different, everyone's preferences are different, everyone's sensitivity is different. So when I'm asking you all these questions, it's not me trying to be difficult, it's because I truly want to make sure I'm recommending the best product for you. And it's like way too open-ended to just be like, what's your favorite vitamin C? I use a different vitamin C depending on the day and what my skin's doing. Do you need multiple vitamin C's? Absolutely not. That's just me, and I'm a little crazy that way. But I want to be able to use my vitamin C every single day. And I have very sensitive skin, like I said. So on days where I just exfoliated, I cannot use the strongest form of vitamin C, which is ascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid, L-ascorbic acid is pure vitamin C. Any other thing that claims they have vitamin C but does not have L-ascorbic acid in the ingredient label, that means they're using a derivative of vitamin C. So you put it on your skin and it's got to go through a reaction inside the skin in order to convert to the purest form that does the most for your skin. It's the highest antioxidant, right? If you don't know, ascorbic acid is very unstable. The best ascorbic acid formulations on the market that are more stable, that actually have like a 2 to 4 shelf life, that aren't going to be bad in a couple months after opening a bottle, they're going to be your most expensive. So I usually ask, are you looking for a affordable product or the best? Are you wanting something as strong as you can get it, like a high percentage of ascorbic acid? Or do you have sensitive skin like I do, to where you put this on your face and it burns and it makes you look red and your skin needs to calm down? We don't want to increase inflammation. Like, there's no point to skincare if it's going to really like damage your barrier, right? So those are all the questions I ask. If I had to pick two, these are the two I would pick personally for my skin right now, even though I have other favorites depending on your budget and your skin and what you're looking for. All right. So Prequel just launched theirs, and this is a 15% pure ascorbic acid. Now, days I just exfoliate, I can't put this directly on my face afterwards when my skin is a little bit more, I don't want to say raw, but like exposed because I just took off the top layer of skin. If I just dermaplane my face, I can't use this at all. So I'll show you what I can use. But if you have already been using a vitamin C for a while, you want the pure stuff, you want a good affordable vitamin C that's like, I say affordable is like not over $70, even 50, 60. There are some that are shelf stable for years that are going to be really great formulations, but you're going to be paying a lot more for those products. And I have a couple of favorites, but this one is one of the first ones I've seen that is actually designed to be more stable because it has this new technology turns that oxidized vitamin C back into reusable vitamin C just in the bottle. And it also has good old niacinamide and ferulic acid, which ferulic acid is shown when combination in vitamin C to be one of the best anti-aging formulations. So I really like this new Lucent C from Prequel because it is affordable. It is a really great, very lightweight serum. And if you don't have sensitive skin at all, you can easily use this product every single day. You want to use your vitamin C in the mornings, not at night. All right, so this one is becoming one of my new favorites. I reach for it because it's just so lovely to put on. I don't know how else to describe it. I call it cosmetically elegant. It is like soothing. It goes on so nice. It's not sticky. It's hydrating. I feel like I get this instant hydrated glow to my skin. It never burns or anything. It is a derivative. It's a vitamin C derivative, which means it's gentler on the skin. So days I exfoliate, days I dermaplane, I can still get my vitamin C in, and I put this on, and it's formulated with hyaluronic acid as well, which is one of those lovely humectants. So it's hydrating, but you can probably tell from looking at the bottle. It's this beautiful milky texture. I don't know why. I'm obsessed with anything like this right now. This is a Japanese brand. Dam, I guess is the name. Everything's in Japanese, so I can't read the back. A little goes a long way. Literally just a few drops of this, and it just spreads so nicely over the skin. I feel like even though this bottle looks tiny to me, I'm like, gosh, this is still gonna last me a long time. And I've been using it quite often. So, sensitive skin, new to vitamin C. Vitamin C's are drying for you or something like that, like you need extra hydration. Maybe you don't want an extra hyaluronic acid or another humectant type hydrating serum and have to use a vitamin C as well. I would recommend something like this that has both of it in there, so you can do like a one and done, hydrate, antioxidant, you're good to go. When I'm picking out the serums of each category, I feel like I could go into a lot of different serums, but I'm trying to hit all of the areas of concern. So this one is gonna be barrier support, redness, irritation, all of that. Your vitamin C is your antioxidant, but it's also anti-aging, good for hyperpigmentation, overall tone. Next, we're gonna talk about peptides. I feel like last year was the year for peptide serums. Definitely an anti-aging type product. If you don't need that, then you don't need a peptide. Teen skin does not need these things. My daughter has this for breakouts. She does not have vitamin C. She does not need it. She does not need a peptide. So I, on the other hand, love peptides. And if I had to pick one, as of right now, this is my favorite. In fact, I'm almost out of this and I need to order a new bottle. This was launched not too long ago. This is the Naturium Multi-Peptide Advanced Serum. This one, I have tried a lot of peptide serums and I have a lot of favorites. They're all great. What makes this a little bit different is it is encapsulated. So I do feel like I can use this in the morning with my vitamin C and it's not going to cause this to work any less. There are some peptide serums on the market that are copper peptides that will, can react with your vitamin C. And so then they're not gonna work as well. So if you wanna just use your peptide serum at night, it's not gonna react with your retinoids. You can totally just move it to night. I like this for daytime because of the formulation, because it's this beautiful, like hydrated. I just realized I'm like, all I keep doing is picking out these like milky hydrate. Maybe it's because we're in the middle of winter and my skin has been dry, but this is the peptide serum. It is so hydrating and I have very normal skin. I don't need a lot of hydration, but like I can use this as the last step of my serums and go straight to my sunscreen. My skin is hydrated all day. Like it gives me a lot more hydration with this formulation than some of the more clear blue serums that are more serum-like. To me, this is like in between a serum and a moisturizer. It's like a lightweight, milky moisturizer. Like I love it so much. So it is multi-peptide blend. So it does have encapsulated copper peptides, azurine, which is the one that kind of relaxes fine line. And it also has encapsulated ferulic acid and collagen. I really like this formulation. It never pills on me. It's very fast absorbing, yet hydrating. And so I say if I had to pick one, I'd pick this. And it truly is the formulation and the texture. And sometimes that is what I'm reaching for, is like, what is the nicest thing to put on? When I have a lot of options in skincare, I reach for what is enjoyable and layers well with others. And so this one I've used morning and night. I tend to use it every single day. And so you want something that you enjoy applying, right? So those were my morning serums, okay? So in the morning, you always want to mainly use your vitamin C. Your peptides, you can use either one. Really, the number of serums you use in the morning is completely up to you. When I'm in a hurry, I put my vitamin C on and my sunscreen and I'm out the door. It's literally all I do. Like splash with water, vitamin C, SPF. That's it. When I have more time, then I go into all these other things. But nighttime is your retinoid time. And if you're really wanting an anti-aging regimen, there's only two things you truly need to implement, and that's an SPF every day, because there's no point to any of this if you're not protecting your skin from further damage. It's literally pointless. And a retinoid. And that depends on a lot of factors, whether you've ever used one before, what strength, what type. And so I'm not gonna get into all that because I have other videos showing that. But I picked out my 3 top favorites. They're all retinaldehydes. So if you know, it's like retinols are kind of the weakest. I find them to be hit or miss depending on the formulation. It truly is formulation dependent. Then there's a retinal, AL, or a retinaldehyde, which is stronger, yet so many formulations are even gentler with less side effects than these retinols down here that you just get at the drugstore. And then there's into like prescription strength Tret. My skin does not like it. It's not for everyone. I can tolerate it a little bit, but it tends to make my rosacea worse. So I am okay with that. There's nothing that says you have to keep going stronger or stronger when it comes to a retinoid. You do what you can do. And so my main goal is consistency, whether that's once a week or 3 times a week, whatever's consistent for you, okay? So this is gonna go after cleansing if you use any kind of essence, something like that. I like to use an essence for extra hydration since these can be very drying and irritating to the skin. These are my top 3 because of price, in order of price point. Maylove. Maylove is an amazing brand. They kind of take out all the bells and whistles with like packaging and that kind of stuff so that you can get really affordable products. This is their Retinal Super Serum. It's called Moonlight, and it's this beautiful bright yellow serum. It's amazing. So if you are wanting something to get started on, maybe you don't really want to spend a lot of money on a product to try, I would recommend this one. Now, this one I have been using for years now. This is the Youth to the People Retinal plus Niacinamide Youth Serum. This one does have other things included. So it's got ceramides for hydration, niacinamide, good for all skin types, adaptogens, all those things. It also has that yellow, you can probably see it in the lid, formulation. This is a pretty high percentage of a retinol. And so for years, it's been really great. And I love that it's like a smooth serum type formula. The yellow goes away. Don't be afraid of that. But the texture is a little bit more hydrating, I'd say, than the other one because of those ceramides. But other than that, it's just a really nice, easy to apply serum. I never had any irritation as long as I kind of stick to these. And I always hydrate and moisturize after. Now, I'll be honest, this one I haven't used as long. It is pricey. The reason why I really wanted to try it is because like this is considered the gold standard for a retinol product on the market right now. So I wanted to see what all the hype was about. What I really love about it is that it comes in different strengths. So you're brand new, you start at the lowest, and you can, when you go through that entire bottle, you're not having any irritation, you know it's time, you can move up to the next number and you can just keep going up until you're at the top if that is a goal for you. So this one is similar. This is the Medic 8 Crystal Retinol 10. Okay, and so this is a little bit stronger than this guy, and so that's what I kind of wanted to try to see if I could move up. This one, again, also yellow, a little bit thicker of a formulation, not so serum-y, but again, a very nice formulation. I haven't experienced any irritation. I know it wasn't like a high jump, it was like the next level, and so, but it was still stronger. I'm gonna continue to use this through the year, and if I get through this bottle and I'm still loving it, I'm gonna get the next level. They do claim that their strengths are much higher because they're much more pure of a form. Is that true? I don't know. I didn't notice a huge level of irritation to where I would have been like, oh my gosh, this is so much stronger than that one. I didn't notice that. And so, is that just marketing? Sometimes we never know, right? I do love that they're very clear. There's great instructions on the back of these on like how to kind of like start. I mean, this is 1 to 2 weeks a night to start, then to every other night. This one has a little bit more detail. Once a week or twice a week for the first 2 weeks, then every other night for the next 2 weeks, then every night. Now, I don't use a retinoid every night. I will skip it when I do acids and when my skin barrier feels like it needs a little bit of extra recovery. I'll do a recovery night and just focus on barrier. But again, I listen to my skin, see what I can handle. You guys, a few options at different price points. Okay, another one I classified as a nighttime because I've talked about how much I'm obsessed with this product, but a lot of you are like, ooh, it's hard to apply makeup after that. Well, I should have been a little bit more specific. I don't really use this in the morning. I have before on days I don't wear makeup, but it does give your skin much more of that tacky, sticky feeling. And that is Super Saturated from Experiment. I just got this bottle. I ran out. And so, well, I just got it. I've already used half of it. This is the one I was saying, reminds me of this, but this one's 50% glycerin. This is 30%. But this is a hydrating serum. So if you're looking for something to add hydration, now, if you don't want a separate product, I'll be honest, I feel like hyaluronic acid is added to a lot of things. You don't necessarily need a separate one if your skin doesn't have any issues with dehydration. If you find you're getting dehydration lines around your eyes, that kind of thing, it will tremendously make your skin look younger if you are hydrated. So look at your other products, see if you already have those humectants in there. Glycerin is my fave. So this one is that very sticky formulation, but it will absorb. Just don't over apply it. I like to put this on and then I will top it with a moisturizer. You always want to lock in all of that hydration. So make sure you're applying any hydrating serum. If it is a humectant, you have to have damp skin. So either spray with a mist or use something like this before, and you want to use a hydrating serum first. So if I was going in with a retinoid, I would cleanse. I'd probably use one of these or this on damp skin before I went in with the retinoid. Now, once you put this on, you want this to fully absorb before you go in with that, obviously, but you gotta use on damp skin so that it has that water to draw into the skin. If you're putting it on dry skin, it's not gonna hydrate like it's supposed to. It can't work fully properly. And then you always gotta lock it in with a moisturizer, something more occlusive. So I'll get into that in a minute. For hydration, also barrier support. I'm obsessed with this. It is one of the best hydrating serums I've ever used. This one is holy grail status for me. That's why I couldn't even compare it to anything else because glycerin is so good if you haven't tried it. If you can get past the texture, I know not everyone, some people have things with texture. Get past the texture, just use it at night, damp skin, use the serum, lock it in with a moisturizer. I promise you are going to notice a difference in hydration level of your skin very, very quickly. Okay, I wanted to go over some eye favorites really quick because I feel like I'm always asked about eye creams so often. It's probably second or third most suggested products. And again, I always ask, well, what are you wanting for your eyes? So if you have eyes that don't, I just had one right here that got inflamed. If you aren't prone to milia, if you can't see those, it'll little bitty they're almost like little bitty bumps. I call it like chicken skin that can form there. If you are prone to those, they can get pretty large even. and they're so hard to remove. I know there's a lot of debate whether eye creams are needed. For somebody with my skin type that is prone to milia, absolutely. I cannot use one of these thick occlusive moisturizers that I'm about to show you for nighttime anywhere near my eyes, or I will develop really large milia that are very apparent. And like I said, very hard to remove. You have to go get them professionally taken out, or you have to be very, very patient while using a retinoid close to your eyes so that it can slowly increase skin cell turnover and slowly get rid of wrapped inside that. You need an eye cream? Completely depends on your eyes. Me, absolutely. I know only very thin textures can go near my eyes. Serums are okay. Any kind of heavy moisturizer, I cannot. Now, if you're prone to milia, you probably know that already because you've probably seen some beginning to form, and you know to kind of stay out of that orbital bone area with anything thick and heavy. Otherwise, if you aren't, just use your moisturizer. Use your serums past your orbital bone, and then use your moisturizer. You don't necessarily need something separate, but if your eyes can tolerate something like this up to this bone here to where it's gonna kind of slowly migrate overnight and be able to work for you. I can't use this near my eyes because my eyes are just highly sensitive in so many ways. I have eye dermatitis, prone to milia, all those things. I have to get a special eye serum type product so that my eyes don't get irritated. Otherwise, you can use what you're using on your face. The eye skin is different, but if your skin can tolerate it, you don't need separate products. Usually they're overpriced and smaller packaging, so the price is higher per ounce or whatever you're getting. Does that make sense? So if you're like me, I usually ask, okay, what are you looking for in an eye cream? Is it just hydration? If you're not prone to milia, use hydrating serum and lock it in with your moisturizer. If you are needing depuffing, usually that's a different story. You want to look for something like me with caffeine, because most face products don't have caffeine in them because there's really no purpose, but caffeine can really constrict and depuff and take away some of that inflammation. It is a short-term solution. It only works for about 8 hours. That's why you have to apply it every day. My favorite is this Youth to the People Peptides Plus C Energy Eye Concentrate. So this does have caffeine and vitamin C, so it works well for dark spots near the eyes. If you can tolerate other products up there like your vitamin C, like I tend to take my vitamin C pretty far up. I'm not using this for the vitamin C per se. I'm using it mostly to depuff in the mornings. I only use this in the mornings. There is no purpose to depuff overnight. Because by the time you wake up, hopefully you're getting 8 hours of sleep, you're gonna be puffy again. So don't waste this product overnight. If your eye serum or cream has caffeine in it, just use it in the mornings. I mean, unless you want a one and done product, but you're gonna go through it faster. It would have to have another purpose. Like this one does have vitamin C for dark spots near the eyes. It does have peptides for anti-aging. So you could use this twice a day, but for me, I feel like there's better things for those two things. So I'll show you the one I use at night. This is the one I use in the morning, and then I always lock it in. This is a holy grail product for me, the Dew eye mask. So I get asked all the time what eye masks I recommend. I recommend reusable ones. I hate throwing away money. The only time, like the other day, we were going out of town for a volleyball tournament. I didn't want to have to you have to wash and reuse these, right? Me and my daughter, I was like, let's try some eye masks, and we depuffed on the way to our tournament. It was 5 a.m. I really wasn't gonna put them back in the case and wash them when I got home. So I used ones that threw away. Otherwise, I use this. I always use these. So these are the Forever Eye Mask by Dew, because you can literally use them with any eye product. You put on your eye product and then you put these on over it, and it kind of allows it slowly to absorb. And it really, I feel like it is a game changer if you're depuffing, is you're main goal, I will use my caffeine eye serum and then I'll use these. I usually only use them in the morning because at night I tend to just glaze myself like a glazed donut and go to bed. But totally dependent on how you want to use them. For night, I told you there's other better options. What do you think that's going to be? That's going to be something like a retinol near your eyes if your main concern is fine lines, and also even dark circles. So dark circles is that gray area where 90%, in my opinion, of eye cream marketing is misleading and says it will help dark circles. It depends on your dark circles. Are your dark circles genetic? Then there's nothing you can do. Sorry, but that's just kind of the nature of it. If it's from lack of sleep, the only thing that's really gonna help that is sleep or something with more of a brightening effect that again is temporary, something maybe yellow based to kind of counteract, nothing that makeup can't do, right? And then the other thing is you just kind of have a hollowness there because you're aging and you're losing volume. Now that tends to be my issue. Where I'm darkest is where I'm starting to lose the most volume. And that's where you can increase collagen production under your eyes. And it will help those dark circles there. And also the fine lines, like literally all my issues, right? A retinol eye serum is what I need because anything too heavy, it's gonna increase milia. This is my overnight product. It's gentle enough because it's formulated near the eyes. It's never gonna like cause my eye to start peeling, which if you don't know, retinoids are very strong. They're kind of known for irritation, sensitivity, turning red, peeling if they're too strong for you. So I've been using this one for quite some time, never had irritation, and I have eye dermatitis, which you don't know is like certain things can react and my entire eyelid will start peeling, red, swollen, all the things. But this doesn't irritate my eyes. So this is the Beauty of Joseon Revive Eye Serum. It's got ginseng and retinol. So retinol is what I was talking about over here, but this one is formulated for eyes, so it's not as strong. I'm not gonna put this near my eyes. I'm not even gonna risk it. I'm gonna go up to this area with that, and then I'm going to put this on. Normally, if I know I'm using something like that can migrate up to a full inch, I put this on first, kind of creates a barrier there. So that way, when I put on my retinoid everywhere else, it's not gonna migrate and get too close and cause lots of irritation near that area. You need a separate eye cream, depends on what you're looking for. And I'd say if you're looking for anti-aging, if that is your main concern, retinoids. Retinoids are the only thing that has really been proven by lots of research over time that it can actually reduce the look of wrinkles and fine lines. It can actually increase collagen production. It can actually thicken your dermis over time, which is a good thing. That will also help dark circles. If your dark circles are because you're losing volume there and suddenly, like me, you can see every vein under your eyes, like you're losing that volume. It's gonna help all of those things. You're just looking for hydration, then you don't need an eye serum in my opinion. I would say stick with mist, essence, hydrating serum. Those can all be used near your eyes. You don't have to worry about that. It's gonna kind of plump up the skin. It's also gonna help with fine lines. And you could use a peptide near your eye as well. Like there's a lot of other options other than eye creams. That's why so many people say you don't need a separate eye cream. Yes and no, depends on your eyes. We're almost there. Let's get into moisturizer. So for daytime, you guys know me, I'm a Seint girly. I need silicone free. I won't recommend anything without it because gosh, it caused so many issues with longevity. If you are not getting all day wear from your creams, your makeup is not lasting. 9 times out of 10, somebody was like, but I checked and there's no silicones. And then I'm like, send me the list, send me what you're using. And I look and I'm like, yes, there are. There are many names for silicones. They're very deceiving. And no, your skin cannot adjust and eventually be able to use silicones. If you're wearing Seint creams, your skin won't adjust to them. I've heard people say that is not scientifically possible. So just pick a water-based moisturizer. It's gotta be water-based, not silicone-based. Okay, so I got both high-end and budget because these are both so good that I couldn't select. I tend to switch it up on the daily if I need a moisturizer. A lot of times you'll see me just use my SPF because I have very normal skin, but in the winter, I occasionally feel like I need a little bit of an extra layer of hydration. So first of all, budget, another amazing prequel product. I think this one is sold out again right now too. Oh, they're so good though, guys. Because, I mean, look at the sizes of this. I don't think you guys understand like the size comparison. Like this could be used for your full body. Like, I mean, they're massive. One of the things I like about their products is that you get a lot for the price and they're all affordable. But this is one of their best because you get this for like, I think it's like, is this the one that's like $18? It's crazy. So this is a Urea Advanced Relief, 10% urea moisturizing milk. Urea is one of those humectants I was talking about, like hyaluronic acid, like glycerin. The only person I would say do not use this is if you have eczema. Urea and eczema do not mix. You want to avoid urea if you have eczema. Otherwise, any other skin type can use this. It also has niacinamide, shea butter, and it's water-based. It's massive. It's great for dry, itchy skin. Also, like if you're just like itchy in winter, you can use this for your full body. I get asked that a lot if it's a full body product. I'd say these big Kahuna bottles, yes, I use them on both. So this one, very budget friendly, and I love it. It works really well under Seint. This one is pricier, but it is very good. This is the Matter of Fact Minimalist Hydrating Moisturizer. They just came out with one called Maximalist. That is more of a night product. This one is their day. It's so good. So if you're looking for a really rich, hydrating, it's got, look right on the front, can you read? Centella asiatica. Maybe that's why I like it. One of my favorite ingredients. They have these liquid crystal lipids they put in a lot of their products. It's all patent pending technology. It's a very well formulated moisturizer if you're looking for something really good. Sephora now carries this brand. Budget, high end, both incredible. And for nighttime, this is when I'm looking for the difference between like a daytime moisturizer and a nighttime moisturizer. It has a lot to do with levels of the ingredients in their formulation. So like I was saying, this one is a urea base, 10% urea. That is a humectant. So if you don't know, every lotion is different amounts of humectants, emollients, and occlusives. So when you're looking for something a little lighter weight, more of those like gel-like consistencies, lighter hydrating lotions, they usually are a little heavier on the humectant side, drawing that water in the skin. Now for nighttime, I'm a big believer it should be heavier on the occlusive sides, meaning everything you just put on your face, you wanna lock it in. Occlusives are what holds moisture in, doesn't let it evaporate. Lock and load it. You want something heavier. This is why you hear the term night cream. Those creams are more occlusive based. They're gonna be heavier. They're really not designed for morning skincare because they can be a little bit too heavy to then apply makeup over. Does that make sense? So my favorite are two that are like high in lipids, fatty acids, and that I always wake up glowing. They're similar in price point, but I will be honest, I've never found, I feel like if I'm going to splurge on any product, I am going to splurge on a night cream. Like I feel like you can get away with cheaper things for cleansing the skin that's just going to be washed off. It's not going to stay on, but like good nighttime cream can make or break your skin. For years, I just washed my face and used a cream for overnight, and it completely transformed my skin. And so consistency and a good product like this is worth every penny. I've not found anything comparable that I would consider budget friendly. Okay, these two are my ride or dies. The Seint cream. This is what started my skincare obsession. I still use this all the time. It's still the one product I can count on that if my skin, if I feel like it's dry, dull, I just need to like do my night routine and really load up on this. And the next day, it's like everything is good in the world again, right? It is forever will be my holy grail cream. So Seint cream, I think the main reason why this is still so great for my skin, it's got that cultured milk in it, which contains lactic acid. So lactic acid is one of the gentler AHAs. So this one's gonna be constantly like hydrating yet slowly helping your skin cell turnover as well. It even has a retinoid derivative. Now I get asked all the time, is it safe to use this with a retinoid? Yes, it is a very weak derivative that has to go through many conversions in your skin. So it's not going to cause like this crazy chain reaction or like really, you'll never see irritation from this product. Even using it with tretinoin, I never noticed anything. So you're good. So the combination of that and lots of occlusives that really hold all of that goodness in your skin. It is just my favorite. So if you've never tried the Seint cream, I highly recommend it. The only thing that has ever come close is the Dew Instant Angel. Now this is a very lipid rich moisturizer. This one, again, is not one I typically use during the day, but if I had dry skin, I would. I always recommend this for my ladies who can't use fragrance. Unfortunately, this does have fragrance in it, and I know some people just have an irritation or an allergic reaction. They can't use fragrance. There's nothing wrong with fragrance in things, in my opinion, but some people just can't use it. So this is fragrance free. I'd say this would work for anyone who's looking for a little bit heavier, more occlusive moisturizer. They do also have a more higher humectant weight one that is now called Air Angel, is their newer one. Maybe better for like oilier skin types or during the day. I honestly sometimes will use that one as almost like a hydrating serum and then wear this one over it at night. So if you need extra hydration, the combination of the two is good as well, but this one is more of what I would consider that lipid rich, occlusive nighttime formulation. Find something, in my opinion, that you can put on. It's the last step of your routine the night before. And when you wake up the next day, you can still see that hydration level. Does that make sense? Like if you wake up the next day from your night regimen and you have no glow and your skin looks dull, dry, especially if it's flaking, then there's something missing in your nighttime regimen. That maybe is like, maybe you're using a moisturizer that's not occlusive enough. Maybe it's not holding in and you have a lot of overnight transepidermal loss. Like maybe you need, like I've used this and totally topped it with this before. Like extra hydration is never a bad thing. And I feel like nighttime skincare is by far the most important. Sometimes in the day, like I said, I will be really like vitamin C, SPF, but nighttime, it's when your skin will repair itself the most. Not least, I have to talk sunscreen. Like I said before, nothing else matters if you're not gonna protect your face. So I was gonna show you my holy grail, but obviously everybody's skin type and preference is different. And so these are, again, what I would consider safe under Seint. There is one silicone type derivative. I don't consider it to give longevity issues, at least on like 99% of my clients, it's never given a problem. There's been a few that think that this is what's causing their problem, but it's not a dimethicone-based silicone, so it doesn't tend to for me. So I'm gonna go from glowiest to matte. You guys probably know my ride or die is Glow Screen. comes in multiple different like colors now, to where it's like really light and natural, like the original one. This one doesn't even have a name on it. What's it called? Sunrise? Why can't I ever remember? The original one is very light. It's not going to cause like it to be dark or anything. And then golden hour is my favorite. Days I don't have a self tan, it adds a little bit of depth to my skin, a little bit of that bronzy look. If you do not like a dewy look, so I'm wearing it today. I don't know if you, I mean, it doesn't look shimmery on me or anything, but it just kind of enhances that natural glow I have in my skin. If you don't like that, if you are a matte girl, do not pick up Glow Screen. If you don't want luminosity to your face, don't pick up Glow Screen. If you have oily skin, I don't think it's the best option. This is a very hydrating formula in my opinion. And they also consider this a makeup gripping primer. I do consider the proper SPF for your skin type to be all you need as a makeup primer. I don't believe in makeup primers with our makeup. You don't need one, but if you have the right kind of SPF, you should have perfectly all day wear without needing an additional product in between. Always gonna be your last step, morning routine only. I think that goes without saying. The next one, which is 100% silicone free that I discovered this year, is Beat the Sun by Crave Beauty. I love this one. So this one is high in humectant, so it's got hyaluronic acid, vitamin E. It is a very lightweight chemical sunscreen. And so this one is going to not give a white cast. It's not gonna give you like a Casper, you know, friendly ghost vibe. It goes on like a lightweight moisturizer. It is amazing. So if you're looking for something hydrating, maybe you wanna skip the moisturizer step in your morning routine, I would recommend this. Obviously, it will kind of dry down to more of like a, I'd say slightly dewy, natural finish. So I'd say it's in between the two. But I absolutely love this under the makeup. I feel like this is the one I'm always asked about the most, which is something for oily skin, or if you like a matte look, because obviously our makeup gives more of a dewy look to the skin. So if you're looking for a mattifying, look for something with silica in it, and that actually will absorb like sweat and oil throughout the day. So it's gonna keep you more matte, almost like you're wearing a mattifying primer. And so this is the one I recommend. There's a lot of different La Roche-Posay ones, so I will link this exact one below, but this one is a dry touch, meaning it goes on matte, and then it also has that silica as an ingredient to absorb as you sweat or as you produce oil through the day. So that way, when you wear the makeup, you can powder as a last step, and it's gonna give you that additional oil absorption. It's gonna easily allow you to be able to get protection while also using a cream makeup. And I've looked at a lot. There's not a whole lot of silicone-free ones that are formulated like that. Now, as far as non-silicone free ones, there are so many good sunscreens out there that just have a lot of silicone in them. Also, moisturizers. Silicone is not a bad ingredient in skincare. It is just a bad combination with cream makeup. So you can use silicones at night as long as you kind of just rinse off with water the next day. It's not gonna give you any kind of longevity issues. So at night is okay, but if you're wearing Seint makeup during the day, you really wanna make sure you don't have a lot of silicone in your products, or you will notice longevity and wear time issues to where it just looks like your makeup is fading through the day, all over your face evenly. If that happens, you know you have a silicone somewhere. Most serums don't have silicone added to them. Some do, but I feel like the majority of it is gonna be SPF and moisturizers, those lotion-based products, because silicone gives that nice glide to the skin. Again, it's a sensory thing. It makes the product nice to apply. That's why it's added in so many products. It's not a bad ingredient. It's just not great for cream makeup, because our cream makeup just slides right off. It gives that glide to the skin, and it also makes our creams just glide right off. So not a good combo, but not a bad ingredient. All right, friends. Once again, I talk too long on each product, but I feel like if I don't explain both the good and the bad and the why, it's so hard to make a great, well-informed decision about the products you're choosing. In today's market, with the crazy marketing and all of these claims and trending products, it's really hard to know which ones are just hype and which ones are really worth your money. So I hope my explanations were helpful. As always, I will link everything down below so that it's easy for you to see. If there's any categories I did not hit, definitely talk about a lot more. Just drop them in the comments below. I would love to hear what you want a recommendation on, what you're looking for. All of these have been tried and tested by me, but if any of that did not make sense, please let me know. I'd be happy to answer any questions as well. And thanks again for watching. I will see you guys next week. Love you.